Hello my lovelies, it's Chinese Sue here. So I thought it was about time that I shared my tips and tricks with you on how to make cooking more pleasurable and learn some shortcuts. So enjoy. Before you start cooking, get yourself an apron, tie it round, get yourself a spare tea towel, fold it in half, fold it again, put it in your pocket, and that you can wipe your hands anytime they get dirty, so it saves you running back and forth to the sink. Here are the essential ingredients you need in your store cupboard and fridge when cooking Chinese food. Oyster sauce, which you keep in the fridge to make it last longer. Shaoxing Chinese cooking rice wine. However, if you don't have that, you can always use dry sherry or apple juice. Dark soy sauce for colour. Light soy sauce for saltiness. Sesame seed oil. Fresh chilies or crushed chilies. Ground white pepper. Corn flour. And then garlic and ginger. A spider ladle, especially for frying and getting the meat out, and an ultra thin oil skimmer. And these are both available on Amazon, which I'll add to the link. Also, the essential wok with a lid. If you don't have a wok, then a deep pan like this with a lid is handy as well. Always prep your ingredients beforehand, either measuring out the sauces or cutting the vegetables and the protein. Remember, the prep is the marathon, the cooking is the sprint. If you can, marinate the protein beforehand, as this will help the flavour and also tenderise it before cooking. If you're like me and you use lots of ginger and garlic in your cooking, here's a little handy prep that you can do well in advance to make your cooking a lot easier. So you get your piece of ginger like this, break it into pieces, then get a teaspoon and scrape the skin off, because if you use a knife you'll take too much ginger off. Go, almost done. And that's one piece, and you do that with your other two pieces. Once you have peeled your ginger, cut them into small chunks, place it in your food processor or Ninja, and then whiz it up until it's all minced. Once it's all minced up, as you can see, you get a teaspoon and you put them onto a large plate like so. Don't overcrowd them so they don't stick together. Can you see? As you can see, they're all teaspoon size, ready to go in the freezer. Now for the garlic, if we break up the bulbs, so all the cloves are individual. You don't have to peel them at this stage. Like so. So I've got about 3 bulbs of garlic here. And what I'll do is put them into a bag, zip it up or close it, and use either a rolling pin or a can or a little hammer, and we gently bash them. Once they're all bashed, take them out of the bag, and it makes it easier to peel to put into the blender or Ninja. Ready to be whizzed up just like we did with the ginger. So I've whizzed up the garlic like I did, exactly the same I did with the ginger. And now I'm going to do the teaspoons onto the same plate as the ginger because there's enough room. So we have our ginger and garlic teaspoon measures ready to put in the freezer. Put some cling film over it. And pop it in the freezer for a good few hours. Once you get your garlic and ginger out of the freezer, you might need a little knife to help you get them off the plate. Once you do, they look like this. And then all you do is pop them in a bag and they're ready for your cooking next time. So get yourself a wok or a pan, get some oil in there on high heat, and the best way to test if the oil is ready for frying is to get a wooden spoon or some chopsticks, and if you see bubbles appearing, then we are good to go. Right, next up is cutting the beef. Now we want to cut against the grain. What this means is if you pull your steak apart, as you can see, the lines are going vertical. You want to cut horizontal. You want to cut against it so then you break the fibres and then it becomes more tender. So cut those bits off. So on the left hand, this I have to turn it around. So as you can see, the lines are going that way. So we need to cut them thin and long, because then it will cook quicker. And if they're too long, then we can just cut them in half after. But you want to go against the grain. So look, the lines are going that way, so we're going to go and cut it that way, cutting the fibre or grain. The thinner the better. Like so, thin strips. Oops. So I'll show you again, you can do bigger slabs, but cut thin as you can against the grain. So going the complete opposite way how the lines are going, and that should give you your tender beef. I hope you found the tips and tricks very useful, and if you have any other cooking questions that you want answered, please comment below. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe.